question.
We must stand up for those who cannot.
That oppress us, whether that is people's theocratic views.
Doing certain like rituals with friends to harness the kind of power around me or within me or whatever it was to kind of overcome and engage with what I was dealing with in life. You know, I had friends who I guess they would say they were witches or whatever. And so by the point I pulled that thing off the shelf, it was in that night. I went home and I just had this desire. I don't know where I got it from. I just had this desire to carve this pentagram into my chest. You know, it just seemed like the things connected. And I find that quite interesting that in where I was feeling and that thing, they connected. And I found myself giving myself to Satan.
Hail Satan! Hail Satan!
Can you get into the things that you witnessed as a child?
Child trafficking. My parents were my parents. They tutored me. They took child of me. And they also, some of the abuse would be considered by some people satanic ritual abuse. Being placed in a coffin with a corpse.
It wasn't just any corpse.
It was my sister. Coffin with a corpse.
It wasn't just any corpse.
It was my sister.
Of all the things that are out there, what could cause an excess in a single year of 10 million deaths? Now, clearly a big war could, and a pandemic, natural or created by
all the
terror.
praises and the honor goes to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha Ha Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren. Shalom to you, few sisters, and shalom to the hopefully elect. Peace to you. I want to go into this video dealing with this situation with there's a lot of Christians that will call us a hate group. And then there was a Christian that put the clip up of IUIC calling the white man, calling him what he calls him, right? Now, it was confusing to me and a lot of us, because even I did a video a few years back when they was out teaching that we don't hate them. That's for God to hate them, right? But Bishop Nathaniel said we don't dislike them because we got to buy from them and do all these things and cohabit with them. So the opposite of dislike is like. So what you're saying is you do like them. Now, the reason why I'm turning into this video, because there was a comment left that said that we love white women and white men that can't dance. Well, some black people can't dance either. Some black people can't sing. Some black people can't play basketball. So there is some people who are white, who look white, that are in the Christian church, who are actually Israelites. Our people was following satanic customs too, right? That may even come out of the satanic church. I don't know. We were known for doing that. So I just wanted to touch on that. Why do we call this man what we call him, right? Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So the wicked ain't nothing nice. And who runs the earth? Whose policies, laws, draconian laws, all the things that are set up, who's running all of that? So by process of elimination, when we say white man, we're not just talking about white people in general. We're talking about the nation, of the Edomians. That's who we're talking about. Because you got some so-called black people who are of that nation, who might have brown skin and are still of that nation. So nation is not color oriented. I don't know where people keep holding on to that. It has nothing to do with that in an entirety. So I just wanted to put it together to show that our people in all forms of doctrines and cultures and beliefs. Right? And this is why we call this man what we call him. And as a nation, see what you see with these people, these Satan worshipers, they're low level. Right? Some of them can quit at any time and go to any other religion. What a lot of people don't understand, as well as that a lot of the atheism, some Christians have adopted and mixed Christianity along with Satanism. And that's really what Christianity is. It's a Satanist religion. The people who headed up Christianity, right? We're talking about modern Christianity, was pretty much what you called Masons, and a lot of them were set up, right? And they used the Bible solely for us. It wasn't for them. That was the whole point of that book called How to Convert a Negro to Christian, because we wasn't following it. And they used it, took pages out, used it, the rest, to control us. Let me get a scripture. Job 34:29. When he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? Right? So when there's peace, then nobody can make trouble. And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? So when there's a turmoil, then nobody can hold him. That's when he wants. Who then can behold him, whether it be done against a nation or against a man only? That the hypocrite reign not, lest the people be ensnared. So there's a period of time that this man is going to run. The only reason why this man exists, the only reason why he's set up today, is he's the greatest deceptor or deceiver or accuser on the planet. You can look at all heathens as devils. Our people can even be devils to a degree. But why do we say the nation is devils? Because their heads in the higher superior seats are the ones that control that. And everybody must be brought up as a nation and brought down as a nation. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You could have been a Mr. Nice guy that went to work every day and had your suit on. If you're from this lineage, Isaiah 14 has to come to pass on you. Jeremiah 30:16 has to come to pass on you. Right? Revelation 2:9, which today applies to them. So we can see Ecclesiastes 3:15, that has already been, and Yahweh, it says God requireth that which is past. So there's no getting away from it, man. Let's go to Leviticus, because also a lot of Israelites have gotten it confused when we talking about there was prostitution in Israel and how it went down. But really, it went into this satanic worship when you really read and get the understanding. Leviticus 19:29, do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. So this lady you saw in the clip, the older lady, this is exactly what happened to her. But the children of Israel, was not to do that. Because what happens is, that's another portion of it, but in the ancient times, what happened is they went to worship the other gods. And when you worship the other gods, then the sexual acts took place. Because you got to understand, it's not about so much sex. It's not so much about when these jakes go to these industries about that part of the action. It's about your spirit, your soul. It's about the control. So when you gave up your daughter to these things like they do in Hollywood, their sons and daughters, they've given them up, and these things come with it, and you ruin them, right? Let's go to Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you in prison. So is there some spiritual demon with big horns that's going to cast you into prison? Nope. This is the man who runs the system. He's going to do it, his policies and his orders, even using other so-called black people to do it. It says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee the crown of life. So we're trying to get to the point to show you why we call this man what we call him as the devil. Why do we call him the devil? Because everything he said, we can go to Habakkuk 2 and 5, right? We can go to the book of Exodus. You know what? Let's go to Habakkuk real quick. We can also read the scripture that says, he that stealeth a man and selleth him, he shall be put to death. Let's go to Exodus 2 and 5. Let's go to 4. Because his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yea also, because he transgressed by wine with all the philosophies, all the treaties, peace treaties, and all the false hopes and promises, and bringing white Jesus, and the list goes on. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, right, and is as death. So if you was a person that believed in hell, and you believed that there was creatures walking around with big horns and big feet and, demon-like looks, which those things exist, those in a spiritual realm. But I mean in the so-called hell that they teach, that's what you see going on today in this society. That hell is right here. And those demons and all that are right here. Right? And that man, the son of perdition, I think it's 2 Thessalonians, that is revealed, that's right here, man. He says, he neither keepeth at home who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as is death, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right? So that should be clear. Easy to put together. If anybody is the devil, or a nation that is the devil, there you have it. Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. Christians will read this too, right? And in the power of his might, put on the whole armor of Yahweh, right? Whole armor of God. It says that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So now, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world. So who are those rulers of darkness of this world? So since we wrestle not with flesh and blood, and we're spiritual, what are they? They're non-spiritual. A lot of those rituals that they do total opposite of the rituals that was actually done by the Israelites, or they'll do some similarities, but to other gods. There was nothing wrong. They say we have the image, not make any idols. Those idols and altars, the Lord was mad at that you did it to other gods. Solomon's temple, Solomon's house, and all that was built with images, right? And artifacts. So we're dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And what is the evil day? The MOTB. Food shortages, right? Power plants shutting down. All kinds of things happening. Financial instability. Your wife, or if you're a sister, your husband, or whoever else, your mother, your father, your mother, your brother, sister. Anyway, wherefore you take the whole armor of God, of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand the wiles of withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, right? Talking about you elect, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, right? This is why when Yahushua came, he took everything physical and made it spiritual. We don't technically need to walk around with special garments with breastplates now. We need the breastplates of righteousness. You can if you want, but it's not going to benefit you, right? And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, meaning the coming in the kingdom of quietness. Above all things, taking the shield of faith. You know, you got Israelites saying it ain't about that. You just got to keep the laws. No, taking the shield of faith. Paul broke that down in Romans, the 3rd chapter, around the 20 verse on up. And your feet, it says, wherewith ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. And it's coming, right? See, all you people who have an issue with us, what we're saying, you're going to find out in that day. You wait and see. And you know who has the most problem with it? Our own people. Our own people say, well, why you call them the devil? Our people the devil too. They're the deceptors too. But when you read the Bible, when it talks about Revelation 2 and 10, that's not talking about just some antichrist. This is talking about a nation, right? Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, yeah, that's talking about a nation. Numbers 35 and 31 through 33, that's talking about a nation. And take the helmet of salvation, right? And the sword of the Spirit. Now, the helmets is worn on your head. You know, so in your mind, you have to have that armor up, man. So your spirit won't get pierced by those fiery darts. And the sword of Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. That's all I have on that. Shalom.